And welcome to this episode of Getting to Know Our Heavenly Family. Today, I want to introduce you to not just one saint, but to two. Let's take a little trip through history. Transport yourself back to the year 1210 to central Italy, to a town called Boggi-Ponzi. A young military man passes you on the street. He seems dissatisfied with his life. This man's name is Luchesius. A few minutes later, you see the young man again, this time without his military uniform. It seems he has decided to leave behind the fighting life and is now working as a merchant, selling provisions to the pilgrims who walk the major highway heading north to Rome. But Luchesius is not just any merchant. He is greedy and unfeeling, and his new wife, Buonadonna, is the same. As time goes on, you begin to detest this couple who are always grasping for more, squeezing what they can out of every customer. Then, one day in 1213, you notice a change in Luchesius. God has come into his life and changed his heart. He is sorrowful for all the evil he has done and seeks to make amends. He begins selling his possessions, his land, and even his business. He fears that if he continues to lend money and sell provisions, that his previous avarice will again overtake him, and he will be worse than before. You hear talk of Luchesius and Buonadonna separating so they can each enter a religious community. Then it happens. Francis, the itinerant preacher from Assisi, has arrived in Boggi-Ponzi. The crowds come to hear him speak. After his sermon, you see him talking intently with Luchesius and Buonadonna, their faces aglow. The next morning, Francis meets the couple in their homes and presents each with a gray tunic. He says he is creating a new community of lay people who will live the Gospels in their homes, not leaving the world for a religious life, but making holy their lives where they are. Luchesius and Buonadonna are going to be the first of the Third Order of St. Francis, an order of penitents. Luchesius and Buonadonna are entirely new people. They are generous, living on a tiny plot of land and giving away more than they have. You begin to hear amazing stories. One in particular, when Luchesius gave away their last loaf of bread to a beggar. Shortly after giving away the last of his food, another beggar arrived, and Luchesius asked Buonadonna to fetch another loaf from the pantry. In frustration, she said that he would give away all that they had until they starved. Gently, Luchesius again asked her to look for a loaf of bread in the pantry. When Buonadonna opened the pantry, she found an abundance of the most beautiful bread. After this incident, the couple strove to outdo each other in their generosity. Many years pass, and in 1260 a plague sweeps through Boggi-Ponzi. Luchesius and Buonadonna, even in their old age, provide care and provisions for those who are sick. But now Luchesius seems to have contracted the disease. But the villagers are praying for his recovery and an end to the plague. Buonadonna begs her husband not to die before she does, asking God that they may both pass from this world together, journeying to their final destination as one body, just as they worked as one body here on earth. Her desire is granted, and she catches a fever. Buonadonna dies just hours before Luchesius does on April 28, 1260. The town mourns, yet they soon begin to notice miraculous events centered around Luchesius's tomb in the local church. Soon pilgrims from the entire region are coming to pray for his intercession. Luchesius and Buonadonna are witnesses of changed lives. For years they were greedy and unfeeling until they met God and were received by St. Francis of Assisi. They then lived in a radical way the gospel message for 50 years before finally surrendering their final possessions, their very lives, into the hands of God. May both Luchesius and Buonadonna serve as a testament to each of us that no matter where we are in life, we can still commit our lives to God. We can still experience a change of heart, bringing about great good in the world. Blessed Luchesius and Buonadonna.